Hello.
Hello.
This is going to be great.
Today we have a very special Filipino treat because we're joined by Budgie, who is the brains behind Apoy, Sarap and Great British Menu alumni. This is pretty special.
Yeah, very excited, very honoured to be here.
It's so nice to have a real chef in the kitchen.
I know, who can dress well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, real chef.
I almost wore that shirt today.
I was in the memo. I got told to wear it.
Stop trying to cheat.
I smell something citrusy.
Boys, Budgie has already put number 1 under the cloche. Lift away.
Limes. They look like tiny little limes.
Scratch and sniff. What are you getting?
It's sweeter than lemon.
Yes, it smells sweet.
Baby limes.
Oh, I mean, all of it is very correct. It is citrusy, it is limey, but it is a Calamansi, which is essentially our main citrus found in the Philippines and all throughout Southeast Asia, but it is a native fruit to the Philippines.
You just bite it like a kumquat.
This, I feel like we're being stitched up.
Well, I feel like we're being
Budgie, can we bite directly
Of course you can buy it.
Okay, fine.
I wouldn't, but...
Yes, Budgie. You get the idea.
But yes, you can.
Oh yeah, it's a really fragrant juice. It almost is citrusy. It's not really sour, but yeah, it's almost floral, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's got a flavour profile somewhere in between sort of lime and kumquat. So, you know, it doesn't have that sort of intense lime properties.
Yeah, like bitterness, like a really pleasant bitterness.
Yeah, that will probably come out a little bit more because you've taken a nice bite of the skin. But in terms of the juice itself, really refreshing and sort of in between that lime and kumquat sort of flavour profile. It's an ubiquitous flavour in the Philippines.
So whereabouts would this get used?
Pretty much anywhere, you know, from drinks to dipping sauces to flavourings and marinades, and yeah, it's such a key part of Filipino cuisine. You know, one of the things that we try and do in Apoy and Sarap is to try and recreate Filipino flavours using local ingredients. In this case, that is something that we can't replicate.
We're not compromising on these.
No.
Budgie, you mentioned drinks.
Yes.
What should we get them to make?
Well, my favourite of mine would be a margarita.
Calamansi margarita, boys.
Calamansi margarita.
I'm up for that.
Let's do it.
Yes. First thing we need to do is get some calamansi juice, so split them in half.
I'll chop, you squeeze.
Yeah.
You need about a shot glass worth, about 50 ml.
They squeeze really easy.
Yeah. A bit of ice in the shaker.
We got some icebergs.
Shot of tequila.
Such a satisfying sound.
Okay, well now your lips have been on that.
It's going to taste better, isn't it?
Accurately measured, of course.
I was going to say, free pour. He thinks he's Tom Cruise.
He is not Tom Cruise.
Half of that amount of Grand Marnier, calamansi juice.
Sorry, you sit there.
I am.
About half a shot of syrup. Cool. In the shaker, give it a good shake.
Please.
Shake it till it gets too cold to handle.
A good old calamansi rimming.
Yep.
And then
Really put the cock in this cocktail, well done.
and then maybe a half a calamansi for garnish.
Look at that.
Oh, that is smooth. I reckon we could add a bit more juice.
Oh wow, that is great.
Different to some of the margaritas you might have had previously with just lime.
These are not as harshly acidic as other citrus fruits, so you do get all that bitterness and it just tastes smoother. That is a great way of explaining it.
That just takes it to a different place. In a way, it makes it much easier to drink.
Yeah, it gives it that citrusy note, but not that acidic
kick.
Intensity. Yeah.
I'm sure those calamansi will make another appearance later on, but let's look at cloche number 2.
We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good lime.
It's a calamansi.
I like that one. That was a good one.
If you're enjoying this, there are some small things you can do that make a big difference to us. Like the video. Subscribe if you aren't. Click the notification bell and select all. Thanks.
Okay, boys, I'm intrigued to see your reaction on this one.
Superb start, by the way, thank you.
Boom! Oh!
Oh.
Oh.
Hello.
Looks cocoa nibby,
It does look cocoa nibby.
but
They're red.
each one has got a little speck on it. Can you see? Like it's got each
It's
one's
got
got
an
a little,
eye.
like a little nubbin.
Little potato eye.
Probably not something you want to eat in vast quantities, but by all means, you know, have a
It
lick.
means it's poisonous if you nick that.
Have
Let's
a
find
lick.
out.
All I can taste is the calamansi. on my fingers, squeezing them.
Hang on.
I almost inhaled.
They're chewy.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be like a coffee bean, but they're not. They're really chewy.
You got any idea?
It's bitter.
It tastes like earth. No, really bitter at the end.
Really bitter. I can still only taste calamansi.
Okay.
So it is annatto seeds or azuete seeds. So a natural coloured pigment, so yellowish, orangey, red. In terms of flavour, very sort of earthy, but more so used for the colour than it is for flavour. Generally, we don't use it in the seed format. What we generally do is we extract the colour from the seeds. So we either crush them into a powder, and then you can sort of extract flavour from that. But the easiest way would be in a bit of water or a bit of oil with some other aromats, things like bay leaf, garlic and things like that, some lemongrass, and you get this really, really bright reddish oil or water. And that's what we use in the cooking part, the sort of for the colouring and things like that, on a number of dishes.
Wow.
But it's a seed not native to the Philippines. It came via the sort of Americas through Mexico. Through the sort of galleon trade of Spain when we were ruled by Spain.
When you think of it as a colouring now, boys, where else close to home might you recognise it? Have you been to Leicester recently?
Red Leicester cheese.
Correct.
No.
It's coloured with the same stuff.
So, yeah, its main commercial use is for food colouring, natural food colouring, and it's used in cheese. Red Leicester, one of them, which was a great surprise to me when I first found out. But yeah.
Wow. Are we going to eat something or are we going to cook something?
Yeah.
Should we try marinade?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to make a classic Filipino dish called inasal chicken. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some of the annatto oil. Add some annatto seeds to the pan. A couple of aromats in there, so bay leaf, some ginger, garlic. You don't have to do that. I like it just to give it a little bit more flavour.
Not the bay leaves.
I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Because the real chef's using bay leaves.
I know.
Bay leaves the way forward.
We have this argument. All the normals in the studio are like, bay leaves, what do? They don't do anything. Whereas the chefs are like, they're unbelievable and they work.
There's always an argument with bay leaves. You kind of, you don't know what they do, but you kind of, you know when they're not in there.
Yeah.
You know?
They give it that little something
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't...
You don't know what it is.
That's not winning me over.
When people ask me, well, what does it do? I'm like, I don't know. But I do know when it's not in there. So you can really start to smell the aroma now.
Yeah, definitely.
Smell the redness. Now, it's a bit of oil. You don't want anything with too much flavour on it, okay? So rapeseed oil is perfect.
Yep.
Bring that to sort of a simmer, and that will allow the colour to leach out of the seeds and infuse into the oil.
Awesome.
So as you can see, the colour is starting to leach out already. Once it starts to bubble up a little bit, take it off the heat, and you're really pretty much done with it.
I've done such a great job.
That was great. Couldn't have done it better myself, to be honest. Perfect.
Well done, Jay.
Well done, mate.
Budgie, you're welcome.
Well done, mate. So next thing we're going to do very quickly is the butter.
Okay.
The basting butter. So any excess trims, fat on the chicken, don't throw them away. We're going to stick that on there, render that nice and slowly. Then we'll obviously put some butter in there. Now you can do one of two things. You can either put the annatto oil into that as well, or you can add annatto seeds and things. So we're going to do both because we've got both.
More of the calamansi coming into play.
Calamansi, again, a flavour of the Philippines, so it will be part of the marinade. So what we're going to do is we're going to marinate a whole chicken with some calamansi, some ginger, some garlic, some of the annatto oil, which will give it that sort of bright colour. Some Sprite, or 7-Up, up to you, lemonade.
That's a curveball, isn't it?
How?
Classic. Sugar, citrusy flavour, sweetness.
And that's like an authentic Filipino thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I've used cola before.
Yeah.
To do various sort of like
Are you afraid of saying
pork
Coke?
or gammon. No, I'm saying cola, because maybe it wasn't Coke that I used. It might have been another one.
Panda Pop.
And then the other key ingredient in it is coconut vinegar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, love that stuff.
So, I mean, it doesn't have that same astringency, in the back of your throat. There's a little bit of sweetness to it from the, obviously the natural sugars of the coconut. And then depending on which sort of vinegars you use, certain ones have different flavor profiles. So you've got ones that can be made from the sap of the coconut tree, and that's a different flavor altogether. Then you've got the actual coconut water that turns into vinegar as well. So there's multiple things that can be used for the vinegar itself. That's rendering away nice and slowly. Now we get onto the marinade. So don't need to be too fancy with this. This is just a bit of ginger.
It's also the sign of a great chef when it comes with his own knife.
Yeah, it's a really cool knife.
I know I should be surprised when we have a real chef
I
in the
know,
kitchen
but-
and their knife skills, but every single time it just gets me.
I didn't listen to a word you just said because I was looking at the perfect dice on that garlic.
I've had a bit of practice. That's, you know.
Yeah.
Out of interest, when did you start learning to cook, Budgie?
This is a second career for me, actually. I started cooking when I moved to London about 11 years ago. Prior to that, when I was living in Sydney, I was in IT. So,
Oh, that's
bit of a
quite
different,
yeah.
bit of a different route. It's been a fun ride, fun journey.
Do you miss the IT world?
Not at all. You know, it's been the best decision of my life, really. A decision for the soul as opposed to anything else, really.
It's a lovely way of thinking
Turning
about
it on and off again.
I'm getting some lemongrass in there as well now. So in with the Calamansi juice, some 7-Up, or Sprite, oh sorry, Sprite. Lemonade. Some coconut vinegar. This is the Annatto oil now. Good bit.
Jay, make yourself useful.
Jay, hold it.
Oh, hold
Make
that for me,
yourself
please,
useful.
Jay.
Make yourself useful, Jay.
Thank you. There you go. From there, we just want to marinate the chicken. We've got a whole chicken here that we've just butterflied, taken the skin off. And you want to marinate this for at least sort of 3 to 4 hours. Overnight is great.
Now the good thing is, you sent us your recipe earlier, so we do have a Here's What I Made Earlier.
Yes!
The magic of. So Inasal is actually from a certain region, or one area that it's well known for. It's called Bacolod, and Inasal is the local dialect word for barbecue. So traditionally, this would be barbecued over charcoal.
Which you did request, but then we told you about a fire alarm.
Yeah, stuff like that. If anything, Filipino food is very adaptable. So in the oven's fine, you know, finishing it on the grill last minute to get sort of nice color. The most important thing that you need to do is constantly baste it with this chicken fat, butter, salt, pepper, and you're just constantly basting that, putting it back in the oven, and you're just building on that flavor when you serve it with some rice. So as much as I'd love you to try this right now,
I would love to try that.
Let's try this right now.
we've got one more thing that we need to do before we go and try it.
Let's lift the cloche number 3. All yours, Jay.
Oh.
It looks like soy and shallot. Maybe lemongrass?
Maybe
Oh, these are
lemongrass.
really delicately chopped.
This is almost like I diced them.
The clue is the chicken that you've just made would dip wonderfully in it. But first off, let's work out what it is.
I'm going to try some.
Wow. Hey, caramba.
Wow!
Woo! Talk about packing a punch.
Fiery garlic.
Definitely some chili going on in there as well.
Is it soy? No. What is it? It's really sweet.
It's a sort of soy, like a sweet soy.
So this is one example of Salsawa. Salsawa essentially means a dipping sauce. And it is something that every Filipino table has. And it's a way to customize everything to your liking, essentially. So there is no right, there is no wrong in terms of Salsawa. There's definitely some basics, you know, soy sauce being one of them. In this case, soy sauce, shallots, some garlic and some chilies in there as well for a little bit of spice, and a couple of other little ingredients in there as well. So calamansi, obviously. And the other one being coconut vinegar.
Oh, that's it.
And that's, again, bringing that sweetness, having that sort of balance between sweet, sour and salty.
It's a fruity sweetness. It's absolutely stunning.
Just as an example, that's coconut vinegar and the soy.
Would you like a little refresher of coconut vinegar?
Yes, I would. Cheers.
Maybe don't shot it.
I will if you will.
I mean, it's to their own, to be fair.
It's not. That's really not how it's supposed to be consumed.
Think about how much
It gave me a tequila. Whoa! It's delicious. It is a sipper.
Would you like to dip some chicken in it?
Yes!
Let's bring the two together.
What's the correct way to eat this?
Traditionally, it's spoon and fork, or what we call kamayan in the Philippines, which means eating with your hands.
Oh my gosh, smell that. That is ridiculous. Not my one. Smell your own.
Always with rice, can't go without rice. A little bit of that chicken fat, butter, pour that over your rice.
You better save some of that for me.
Fat is definitely flavour in that case. There you go. And then
Customise
and
the
then
choice.
customize it with your dipping sauce.
This is incredible. Already, you know it's going to taste amazing.
Hurry up.
I'm hurrying. Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Does it still taste red?
Oh, it tastes better than red.
It tastes orange, like red but more exciting.
Oh my goodness, that is so good.
The chicken is so tender from that marinade. I'm going in for a dip. I'm going in for a dip.
Going for the dip.
Here we go. I'm so buzzing.
You're gonna love that.
This is amazing.
I think the big thing for me is how balanced it is. You've got a little bit of warmth there when you've got the dipping sauce, but it's sweet, it's sour, salty. It's
I need more of this.
You know, and you don't take away from the rice as well. You know, we've got such a high impact flavored food. You know, the rice kind of helps to
mop.
Mop it up, and also kind of balance it out a little bit. You know, sometimes it's a little intense, and you take a little bite of rice and kind of brings it back together as well.
Have you got room for dessert?
Ebbers, don't stop me. Give me 5 minutes.
How do you top that?
Can we top that?
I think you can.
Go on then, Mr. Colourblind.
Is it purple?
It is purple.
I'm going to say a word. Yummy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yummy.
it does look nice. Yeah, very sticky. Very sweet.
It's pappy, but it does taste vegetably. So I feel like I might not be far off with purple yams.
Yes, it is.
Is it this thing?
That is delicious.
That is that particular thing in there is called ube halaya. So ube is a purple yam, and halaya is essentially cooked down into a jam. So nailed it.
It wasn't that good a guess.
Just because you didn't guess it.
I did have some fresh ube. Unfortunately, customs took that off me.
Confiscated at the border. We should probably say Budgie landed from Australia yesterday and has still come in to film with us, which is amazing, but he literally had ube under his arm and they were like, no sir, you cannot.
No way, ube.
Yeah, so we've got the ube halaya here, which is essentially made from cooking down ube with a bit of sugar. So it's a jam, basically. And
really,
used in
really
desserts.
tasty.
In many sort of applications, you can bake with it. I mean, use it as a jam. And probably my most favourite, most nostalgic of all desserts, Filipino desserts, would be halo halo.
Yes.
Yes.
It's kind of one of your sort of signature dishes on Great British Menu that kind of won so much attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those dishes where it brings back so much childhood memories for everyone. So it's a very nostalgic dish. Halo halo basically means mix, and it crosses the line between a drink and the dessert and a thing you eat.
All the textures.
Yeah, and for me, it's just a lot of fun. And it's sort of my childhood memories all in one.
That's incredible.
Let's make one.
Where do we start? What have we got?
We've got red beans, sweetened red beans. We've got coconut jelly, green coconut jelly, jackfruit, sweet corn. This is jackfruit.
That's the jackfruit.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right. We've got some mango in here as well, and then we're going to have some ube ice cream, which is where this guy goes into that guy.
Sorry, Budgie, did you say sweet corn?
You can have sweet corn. You don't have to have
playful,
sweet
mate.
corn. Up to you.
Should we see if I can get it wrong?
Let's see if you can get it wrong. Let's see if you can get it wrong. So basically, we're going to do a little bit of each on the bottom. Let me get the jackfruit and chop that up a little bit.
Are we going to compare this halo halo to the one that we made on the channel a few years ago?
It looked to be like this.
Sweet corn, would you say?
Yeah, a little bit.
Some greenery.
There you go. And then we're going to get some shaved ice.
You say this is a real nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
Is it something that people do at home? Is this restaurant? Is this street food?
Yeah,
Where do we see it?
it's kind of, it's everywhere really. You can buy all of these in a jar, ready to go. You can even buy them as a mix all together in one. There you go.
It's got your beans, it's got your jelly, it's got your coconut bits.
It's less colourful than ours, though.
Sweet corn?
No sweet corn in it.
Oh, well, see.
So, some evaporated milk, and then we're going to finish off with some ube ice cream. You know, you can go as little or as much as you like.
Oh, 2 scoops, I love it.
Yeah, look at the colour of that.
So, straw,
And a spoon.
There you go. Halo, halo.
Nice.
Lucky dip. Oh, some of that.
Get some of the grassy jelly.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The ube ice cream has
Yeah.
such a great texture. It's almost It's like gelato, like it's so thick and creamy.
Yeah.
It's almost chewy.
It's obviously got starch in it. It adds to the texture.
It's stunning.
Budgie, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
Every single thing we tasted has been like genuinely incredible.
I think what you do so well is take all the wonders of the Philippines and make it super accessible here in London, all over the world. To idiots like us, it's great.
You know, I'm very proud of our cuisine, and we just want to champion and show people how easily accessible Filipino cuisine is and how delicious it is.
For sure, for sure. And you guys can check out more from Budgie in the links down below. Comment, which of those 4 was brand new to you?
All 4.
All 4.
All 4.
I'm regretting shotting that coconut very well.
Yeah, I mean,